Hey guys, how's it going? It's Pandalized here with a guide, and today we are going over Split, which is one of my favorite maps to play, and a map which I consider to be one of the highest skill ceilings to play as Jett, just due to all of the skill jumps, tricks and tactics that you can use to get the full potential out of this character on this map. So if you're looking for some of the strategies and tactics that I've been using over the last few acts to play against high immortals and radiants, and to help you rank up, then stay tuned, hit the like and subscribe button, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. One Split specific Jett mechanic I want to go over is how to get on top of this ledge as quickly and efficiently as possible. If you just normally updraft, you're not going to be able to make it on top of this ledge. What you want to be doing is jump, updrafting, and then crouching from as far as, so even from here, jump, updraft, crouch, you can make it as far over this ledge as possible. You can even jump over this box, jump, updraft, and crouch, and if you glide a little bit, you can do it from a pretty far distance. And again, as always, dashing by itself will not get you as far as if you jump dash, which will give you that extra meter or so, which can make all the difference from doing these sort of long distance dashes. And thirdly, a note on combining your updraft and dash. You do not want to be using your updraft and dash, as it takes forever to shoot, versus if you do your dash and then updraft, you're able to shoot a lot quicker. A habit or reflex you should be building as Jett is if you're ever caught in the open for any reason, say you have your knife out, or you just get flashed and you don't have a dash, what you should immediately be doing and building as a reflex is throwing your smoke down and just taking a second. This gives you a minute to think, you can throw another smoke down, and it just gives you your options to think about how you're going to escape this, or even just wait the flash out to then re-peek out. A skill jump you mightn't have seen is by jumping on this box, gliding, hugging the wall, and then you can crouch to make it right onto this platform. And if you want to get back to A site, you can do the exact same thing by just crouching and reaching here. The second skill jump is this A site box. You want to run and jump right at the edge, glide, and just hold straight and crouch. You'll be able to make it here. It means that you can jump here without using any updrafts. As for skill jumps on B, you want to jump from rafters onto the B sight box, and then from the B sight box, jump from the edge, just crouch to get to the back sight box, and then from the back sight box, you want to be jumping right at the edge, jumping, and then just crouching, and you can make it to here, and you can play here with a judge or something, and it just saves some util. Let's talk about defending A with rifles. So one of the first setups that I love to do is to go and do this skill jump. Once you're on top of the sight screens, well, when they swing you, fight, pop your dash, come to the left, take another fight, jump, and then you can dash away. This gives you the option to fight here. You can then swing, fight here. You can smoke if you need to dip into screens. You can give up the sight, you know, after you get your couple, or you can just continue fighting to death on site by playing here. And just to explain why we stand on the right hand side here is because when we get this kill, we can then move, and it gives us two 1v1s. If you're playing ramp with rifle, well, I do like taking a pick here, but as soon as you get a pick or a fight, come onto this box and hold this off angle like this. This means that you can get a kill, smoke here, and then you can get yourself out. And I really like holding this angle like this, as they have to clear everything. You can then get a kill, prep your dash, jump, and then dash to here. If you're looking to play A heaven with rifles, instead of playing up here, what I propose is standing on the edge of this box as far as you can go, as this allows you to get a kill and jump back. And if we look at how that looks for the enemies, well, when they come to clear ramp and then they start peeking this, they tend to cut this pie like this. They clear close like here, they look up here, and they'll put their crosshair towards screens, and we're going to be right here. And because of the angle advantage, it means that we can get a kill, throw a smoke, back off. If they push their smoke, then we're good. And if at this stage they're pushing a ramp, as it might be a rush, you can pop your dash, and while this smoke is up, you can take a peek here, dash out, and now you're playing safe, you're playing with your team, and you're playing your life correctly. If you're playing A and you see nobody, crossing to this right side of ramp is very strong. It allows you to get to this off-angle headshot angle. You can then get your kill, smoke, dash out. And another way to play A is if you see nobody and you're pretty confident that nobody's holding, well, you can actually jump and then glide onto this platform here, and this allows you to get quite an aggressive off angle. And just a last note on defending A with rifles, any of these angles that are looking towards A main, you can play here to avoid flashes through this wall. You can play close to avoid Reyna flashes. And the thing is, from where the enemies are peeking from, they're so close to this angle compared to where you are if you play back screens or elbow, that if you just have good crosshair placement, they just have to basically swing wide. When it comes to opping a ramp, I like to pull the off out and ping just in between these two elevations, right where the ramp lines up with this. You can then take this jump peek, get this kill, and then if you know there's more coming, prep this dash, go for a safe peek like this. Then once you get this one, you want to swing wide, and just take an open fight like this. That means that you can take this, jump dash away, and now get on top of this box, and you're ready for another kill here. And now you can just keep backing off. And it means that when your team want to push screens and retake, you can lock down this A main area, which is where a lot of the lurkers are going to be playing it. If you're opping defensively on A, say for the fast rotate into B because they keep rushing B or going mid and you need to go heaven quickly, well, with your back against the wall in screens and holding this wide angle, it's one of the stronger angles you can hold on the A side. If you're not smoked off, it means you can get a kill. You can then jump over to the left side, go for another kill like this, and if you feel like you're stuck here, you can updraft to get out of there. And one thing I like doing is prepping my dash, throwing a smoke out, and you can either go elbow and peek the site, or peek out of this angle like this, and then dash back out into screens. Play for the retake, and the only thing you really have to be worried about is Omen's TPing across here. If you're going for an aggressive op on a main, most of the time here, you'll get this kill, you'll be able to back off, and what you want to be doing is just cutting, and holding this off angle like this. Then you can back up the site. If they're pushing you hard, you can re-peek here, or you can then prep your dash, peek here, and then go into screens, where you can then hold off an off angle like this for any of the site crosses. One of my favorite eco spots on A is to play behind the plant box here, as you can tuck in. If you crouch, you can then get 1 or 2 man spray down and then throw your smoke up here, and it allows you to just get out like this. Another fantastic eco strategy is by playing in this corner with like a bucky or something like that. And what you do, you want to be holding this sort of deep angle pretty close. You get your kill, you back off, get your second kill, and you have 2 options here. While this smoke is up, you either updraft into heaven, or you then prep your dash, and while the smoke is up, you then just dash into sight, try and get into elbow, as this is where your Bucky and your Spectre and all these short range guns are going to be more strong. Another spot that I love is actually this left hand corner, as similarly to playing behind the plant box, when people come up here and they go to clear, it's just a neglected spot until people die from it. Similarly, tucking in here is a fantastic spot paired with a teammate that's, say, baiting just on top of vents here, or is baiting using the zip noises. One of my favorite eco strategies is just by buying a shorty and a smoke. 350 credits allows you to curve a smoke here, and when you hear them plant the bomb, you can jump around this corner, go for these kills. You've got a dash as well, and you can just be the thorn in their side and elbow. With a shorty, it's a lot of fun. One of the most common A knife spots for Jett is by going for picks in A lobby by jumping off of heaven like this. So you want to be gliding, popping your knives and your dash, and doing a double updraft. Having knives from A ramp and going for this A lobby pick is probably my favorite of the two when it comes to going for these A lobby picks. Pop your knives, jump on top of this box, glide, and now you can double updraft, and you've just got a lot more time in the air. One of my favorite ways to defend B main is actually by jumping on top of this back sight box. So obviously jumping on top of the sight box, jumping, crouching to get onto the back sight box. Well, then we tuck into this right corner here, and I like to ADS this. Once you get your first kill, prep your dash, get your second kill, and dash out. You're then only one more kill to get your second dash, so I like to go for a cheeky pick. Then you got your other dash, and this gives you more confidence to go for an even more aggressive dash. Another way I like to defend B is just by playing on top of this box here, hugging towards the edge, just so that you can drop off easily. When they do their sage wall here, you can pretty much see over the top of it, hit some heads, drop off, and now you can just fight sight. If you're looking to go for an aggressive B main pick here, one thing that you can do is just ping this corner here, just for some better crosshair placement if you're worried. Make sure you're in the middle of this wall, and make sure you get up to full speed when you're pre-aiming this angle. It allows you to get this pre-aim angle, you can take this fight, get away, and just keep playing backwards. However, if you see nothing, just keep jiggling this angle, because if you stand here and hold this, you're going to get one tap from their peeker's advantage. However, if you just keep jiggling this and see nothing, one thing I like doing is just pushing up to this corner and crouching. You're very likely to get this first kill, and what you can do is tuck into this corner, smoke, and then dash out. Alright, let's talk about the two ways that I like to opt defensively on B. The first way is I like to get on top of this box, and similarly to the rifle round, I like tucking in this corner and just holding this angle. And if one person just peeks you wide, the lurker, you don't need to pop your dash, just pop over here. So I like to drop off, prep your dash, go for another pick, peek out. However, if you're up here and you hear them prepping utility, well, prep your dash, get this first kill and drop off. Don't use your dash yet. And what you can do is something like a jump peek, get this kill and dash out. And now you have your dash again, so then you can use your second dash to go for another pick, go for another jump peek perhaps. Keep dashing back, and you just want to keep falling off of these angles. The second way is I quite like to hold close here. This is an angle that not many crosshairs follow. Somewhere in between wide and shallow is a good spot. Then I like to prep my dash and go for another aggro pick. If you know that they're hanging about here and not pushing, then you can back off, fall off to this angle. Now again, like before, falling off, locking off the site, and then waiting for your team. One of my favorite picks to go for on B requires a bit of practice, but standing on top of this box, we want to glide to this box. As soon as the barrier drops, we want to jump towards the barrier, prep your dash, glide, aim in, and you can crouch to hit on top of this box. This allows you to get this pick and then dash off, and now you can just keep playing these off angles. As for some eco strats on B, one thing I like doing is peeking aggro, because the best thing on B that you can do is peek aggro, and if it's eco, try and play inside of these angles like this, even trying to gain some ground here, you know, jump peeking this, because if you can get on the flank on an eco, that's really the best thing you can do on B. Another few spots on B is simply tucking in here. Now it does get spammed, but it's pretty safe. It's not like on Pearl. If you have a teammate or an Omen or something, and they're here and they TP over to here, you can tuck in, and if they don't hard clear you, cancel the plant, get 1 or 2 kills. So being completely tucked into this corner is okay. Crouching isn't advised here, because when you crouch, your leg actually sticks out further than if you're just stood up. Smoke it off, so if you smoke off here, and you can dip out of there. You can either jump shorty them, or even with a bucky, jump bucky from here. When it comes to marshalling on B, going for this aggro pick here is pretty good. And another strong advantage of the Marshall is playing angles like this over siege walls, because a lot of siege walls get put here. One thing I like doing is with a flashbang, if you glide and when you reach the edges, prep your dash, now double updraft, and you're so high up, you can pretty much get a kill or 2 and then dash out. Now you're playing this back sight, and if you jump from these platforms like this, you can get a kill or 2 and you're just a little bit higher than their crosshairs are expecting. If you think about where their crosshair is going to be, it's going to be here, they're going to be looking towards heaven, and they're going to be looking towards backside. So there's no real reason why they would be looking up here, which is where we're floating. Another little cheesy thing I like to do is play in this back corner. However, you've got to be able to time this right. You can crouch, jump, and just before you hit the floor, it just gives you just enough time to get a kill, but not necessarily that you're floating up into their crosshair. When it comes to defending mid, this is one of my favorite spots to play, especially on pistol round, as holding this bottom mid right side sushi area can be very strong with a sheriff, and holding this angle early and just swinging into it, jiggling, just going for these picks, can be very effective. Similarly with rifles, this spot is very good. I like holding this with the rifle, I like to ADS, and again holding towards the right side. If you're feeling you're in, you can just take these aim duels, and tucking in like this, it's just super effective. However, one of the things I do like doing is swinging up and playing this angle here, as what it allows you to do is get to one of these off angles and then dash up. Of course, playing aggressively in mid can be very effective, but particularly as Jett, you can get on top of this box pretty easily. Say you ask for a smoke bottom mid, you have a teammate holding from male towards the left side of mid. This allows you to walk up, get into these weird off angles, and if you're convinced nobody's here, you can take a peek up, and from this angle here, you can actually swing into this B link area. Once you're positioned here, you can get a teammate to walk up, hold your sewer area. If you're alone, you get the early info here. You'll be able to hear people running up sewer. Unless somebody's particularly looking for you, they're going to look up here. You should be good for a kill, and it means that you can dash out pretty safely. Here, you can dash into mill easily as well. If you're playing this mid vents area and you're getting smoked off and put under a lot of pressure, and you're getting flashed and you get smoked off here, once you spam, you want to tuck in behind the sewer. You spam, you want to tuck in, as they're going to be sending everything to you. If they raise nade, you do have enough space to updraft over this. But one of the things I like doing is, if you know that they're taking a lot of space here, one of the things I love doing is just spraying your head level. Spray them, and it'll net you a kill quite often. Holding mid from male is one of my favorite spots to hold, as it's just such a pre-aimable, spammable angle. And as Jett, you can always prep your dash, ask for a flash out, and you can go for a wide smoke like this, dash back. However, when you get pushed off of these angles and you now need to play in this sort of B tower area, this off angle here on B is absolutely fantastic. This off angle is particularly good because when they're clearing, well, you're stood here, and it's an angle, people tend to jump up in this box, you just get a free kill. Another good spot to play is actually on top of these zips, as when you hear them run in, you can go up, you can spam them and come down. When it comes to opping mid, one of my favorite spots to hold is in the middle of this doorway. Holding this angle, I like to double zoom and stay stood up. It means that because of the angle advantage, we can nearly always get this kill on an enemy opper or anybody that peeks us with a rifle. From their perspective, when you swing this angle, you tend to peek close here, and we're already stood over here and able to see the shoulder. If you happen to shoot here and you get stuck, go to the right hand side, updraft over the doorway, and now you're ready to pop your dash, take another peek, dash out, and now you can play vents with your shorty. Naturally, if you're holding the right side and you see nothing, the timing here is pretty soon for people peeking the left side of mid. If you don't see anything here, I tend to just tuck into the right. You can take this pick, updraft, and now you're ready. The angle that I like holding is stood against this back rope, holding this angle, just so you can see I can still attach to the rope here. Shoot, and then press E or whatever your bind is to attach, and then just hold the back button and you're out of there. Of course, if you're opping mid and you see nobody, one of the things that you can do is hold these angles, lock down the, say, the right hand side while your teammate walks up the right hand side to clear sewer. They can lurk. Now you can rotate off and you can play stronger angles, such as swapping into ramp with your teammates, and just get the off into a position where it's going to be used to get these initial picks, and then you can rotate off. There's a fair few eco strategies I like doing in mid, but most of them require the help of a teammate to get into these sort of corners, either smoking bottom mid and flashing so that you can push up together. For example, is behind this box here with a teammate baiting here, or baiting in vents. Likewise, a teammate baiting in vents, and you can hold right side vents. Baiting inside of meal in this corner, pretty strong, especially if you have a teammate playing here and then they back off, as well as hiding behind this box here with the teammate baiting on either the ropes or on the platform. If you're playing aggressively, getting a smoke, pushing with two of your teammates or something, getting into these angles like this, getting into bottom mid can be a real thorn in the side. And an area that I don't see hardly anybody using in mid is this here angle. As Jett, you can get up here, you can hold this B rotate. If you can push up, nobody is ever clearing you here, and if they run down vents and go up, well, you're pretty much ready to stab them in the back. A good strategy for defending all across this map, and particularly in mid, is buying a shorty, dropping it into vents, getting your classic out, and now it means if you're on a eco strategy against the enemies, you let them take this ground, jump off, and now you swap your shorty, and you're just ready to take these close fights, and you can just catch them off guard because they see you with a classic, then they jump in and you can just short it him. When it comes to using your knives in mid, there's only one real tactic that I've found consistent success with, and that's if you have a breach or a KO, say flashing through the walls or popping you out, you stand on top of this platform, and if you hear them in mid, get them to flash, and if you time it right, once the flash comes off, updraft like this, and just get behind them while they're blind. When it comes to attacking A, there are two main avenues. It's either pushing below or pushing ramps. When you're pushing ramps, you want to be taking this angle differently every single round. You want to be peeking on the top elevation one round, you want to be peeking down here, you want to be peeking close another round. This can help you get the advantage on getting this early pick, taking control of this A main area, and just putting the pressure on the enemy. Now, once you have control of this A main area, this is where these two avenues I was talking about comes more into play. What I recommend is to never use your dash to cross here. Cover this by either using a smoke, or even on a worst case scenario, you can just updraft across. Save your dash for when you get across here and you go for this kill, you clear your left, you can pop your dash here. You know that you're going to be taking a fight up here. It gives you the confidence, and if you get this kill, well, now you can dash in. You can now cut off these rotations. You can now backstab the other site player, and you're gaining a lot of space for your team versus just wasting your dash. If we're looking to push lower, then I recommend jump spotting this, as the angle advantage, as we talked about, is so advantageous for the enemies. And when you're ready to commit, either get your teammates to smoke off ramps or just hold it. And one of my favorite dashes is after you clear this heaven angle, is dashing towards this plant area. You do your dash, you dash in, you can then clear close or peek out here. You can then swing when your teammates start taking fire, or you can even updraft if you know that this person is dead in heaven from the ramp players, or you want to get a quick trade. The second dash is trying to get into heaven off of the bat. So you go up here and you dash an updraft, and you can play off of heaven. You can use your smoke to peek elbow, or even just creep into heaven and try and pincer the people playing in heaven with your teammates that are pushing ramp. The third dash I like to do is if you're gaining ground, say this is smoked, say screens is smoked. Well, I like dashing on top of here. You can dash on top of here, and you can just chill. You can play it by ear. You can either wait for your smoke to disappear and then peek, or while your smoke's up, you can even jump onto the screens. And I would say the fourth dash that you can do is by smoking close, dashing across the entire site, peeking into elbow here, and trying to get to screens if you know that they're playing on site a lot and you just want to be a thorn in the side. When it comes to OPing it, you really want to take your time. Use this angle advantage off the start of the round to your advantage. Hold for this. If you know that they're pushing, then what I like to do is just use jump peaks. Then you can post up. This again is a great angle advantage for you. You can allow your teammates to walk up while you cover the angle. What I don't recommend is swinging screens with the op, as again, the angle advantage is just so strong that even anybody with a rifle or even a sheriff can get a good opportunity to just clip your head way before you can even react to them. Crouch peeking close, crouch peeking up on heaven, this is fine. These sort of angles are fine. Then when it comes to this, jump peeking this and go for a jump peek. And if you gain control of this, well, now it's ideal for you to be posted on screens as your teammates push up and take the site. If you take control of ramp, another great position to post up on is this angle here, or if you take control of vents, it's getting on top of this box, holding an angle like this here. And depending how aggressive and quickly you take it, getting into an angle like this can just end the round before it starts for the defenders. When it comes to attacking A on eco, always go ramp.
Careful.
So as Jett, you want to be covering your smoke in, making sure that the cross is covered, prepping your dash, clearing these close angles, and as soon as you get a kill, either dashing into vents, getting this kill, dashing into CT, and just keeping the pace up. And even if you get the kill and then dashing onto site, it can be very effective at just pincering the site, keeping the pace up, and you just want to be keeping the rotations as far away as possible. If it's hectic and the bomb is down and you're on eco, one of the best spots you can just play is in elbow. Just keep challenging these angles with your close range guns, and when they start coming onto site, you've got so many options to play with. You can back off, play with the shorty, you can even use your smokes, and then be able to dash onto site and just split up these angles and just really keep the enemies on their toes and just stay alive. You can jump peek essentially with your updraft, get the information on with either they're planting or not, and you can even just helicopter them with your shorty. And elbow is just a really, really good spot to play when you have eco weapons. As Jett, the best post-plant position on A is in this corner, and then you go ramp. Once you go ramp, you want to be popping your knives. You can float over to this platform, and if you crouch and updraft without jumping, so just crouch and updraft, then glide, it allows you to get a nice angle onto the bomb here. This angle is very difficult to hit for the enemies. You can drop down here, peek from here, put a smoke down, dash across. You can play from heaven, and it allows you to play from elbow, wrapping around, or peeking from here as well. Alright, let's talk about attacking B with rifles. Off of the barrier drop, a lot of people like swinging this angle. However, unless you're feeling very confident, I would actually recommend just jump peeking it, trying to get some info on who's there, as it'll just allow you to take this space. And once you've taken this space off of the enemies, they're just put under a lot more pressure, and you've got a lot more freedom to work with, and you're not as likely to get lurked on. After you've taken this space off the enemies, you want to be placing yourself in between these two walls, clearing these off angles one at a time, making sure that you're reaching the max speed, getting 3 steps into your peaks, 1 2 3 1 2 3, clearing these angles, clearing up top here, as this is where we were playing on defense, just clearing these angles, and if you're suspecting that they're OPing, go for these jump peaks and just get the information, as the further that you can push the defenders back into the site, the more success you're going to be having on keeping your life when you actually dash into the site. When it comes to dashing in, there are 3 main dashes that I like to do in the B site. The first one has a few variations, so prepping your dash, throwing your smoke in this corner gives you 2 options. You can either dash into the left or the right. Now this smoke means that you can dash into the left, and with a flash flying over back site or whatever, you can then swing, clear these angles, and move up. If you don't have as much support, or you just want to mix it up, I quite like dashing into the right, hugging this wall, and then just swinging. Just wrapping the site like this with your teammates pushing up, most of the time results in a kill or 2, and it gives you so much momentum to then push into CT. The second dash I like to do is on top of this back screens area. I'll place my crosshair at this dark spot right here, through the smoke, you can dash updraft, and now you can clear the back site, a flash can come in, you can drop with the flash, kill anybody that's flashed, or you've got a couple more options of while the smoke's up, you can drop to the right side, or thirdly, you can throw a smoke here and just claim this backside area for yourself. The third updraft I like doing is a little more situational, and it's if you know that they're not playing here and they're playing more passively towards tower, they're playing more backside towards CT. Well, one place that we can get on top of it is this box. However, we want to be smoking this off for our entry. So what I like doing is aiming at this orange line, and just below this dark spot, if we curve a smoke, then it allows us to updraft in here, and it means we can clear the backside, we can clear CT from this off angle, clear the rafters, and when the smoke drops, we're in a great off angle to try and take some of these picks and drop off. Let's go over some tactics that I like to use when OPing B on attack. The first being, you want to place yourself right in this corner when the barrier drops, as we want to actually get over to this right hand corner as soon as possible, just like this. So we want to line up these two walls, and we don't want to be stood here at this corner. We want to get here as soon as possible, as when we think about this angle advantage of this corner and where they're going to be pre-aiming, just remember that we're stood here, and when people go to swing this, they tend to swing here, and because of the angle advantage, we're going to see their shoulder. So tucking in, making sure these two walls are lined up quite tight here so that we can see their shoulder when they can't see ours, means that we can get a pick pretty easily. When it comes to working up and actually clearing all of these angles, I want to show you the variety of peaks I like using with the op. So the first angle that I like to clear is this one, and I like to get close and do a crouch peek quite tight with it. So I'll do very tight crouch peek, I'll do here as well, I'll do a tight crouch peek, and then moving on to this, on top of this box here, I'll do the same thing. And what we want to be doing for this next angle here, which is a very common opper angle, is actually jump peeking here. Getting up to speed, jumping out, and then peeking here with a crouch where we have the momentum. We'll catch an opper off guard. Once we clear this close angle with a jump peek, we want to be then clearing this angle with a jump peek by just swinging out like this, going for this pick, and hopefully getting these kills against the enemy oppers. Once you've got control of this main area, it's a good idea for you to post up here while your team organizes themselves for a push. Once you get the sage wall up, you get the flashes going, you're posted backside, hold this angle tight so that if they use any Rhino flashes or if they have any KO flashes, it means you're not flashed, and any of your teammates that are here, you're going to be able to get this kill using your dash. Getting into this angle here is just probably the best angle that you can get to lock off CT. It means that your team aren't worried about this angle, and it means that you can back off when the bomb is planted here. You can back off, you can use updraft to get out of here, you can use your smokes and just back off again and just play this angle here again. Let's talk about some of the eco strategies I like doing when attacking B, and most of them revolve around doing this here close smoke. So looking something like this, clearing left, and then wrapping the right, we dash in, get this kill, and as soon as you get this kill, you've got two options. You either push CT or go up rafters. I personally like going up rafters, getting into this angle, as it's just a great off angle, and if they're rotating very quickly, they're not going to be expecting you here, and it allows you to get some peeks, get some info, and if your team are smoking here or they've smoked here for whatever reason, you can do some cheeky peeks through the smokes, get some kills. However, the second option of pushing into CT, as soon as you get this kill, pull your knife out, and you are immediately running into an off angle like this, or even better, if you can push up into heaven, one of the strongest angles is going into here, playing an angle like this, holding the spawn, and if you hear anybody rotating, you've now got the backstab from here, you've got the backstab from here, and again, you can catch any rotates off. It's very strong. The best post plant position on B is in this corner. Walk up until you can see the plant indicator. Look as far left as possible so that the bomb goes out far. This plant's for backside, B main as well. Both sides, you can hide behind this box, you can hide here as well. If you have your knives back box here, you can crouch, float, and get some cheeky kills like this. It plants for both sides of pillar, here and here. It plants for CT as well. And it also plants for heaven with the opportunity to drop and either peek the left or the right side. The second knife spot is on top of this box. You can hold for CT, it gives you two options of being able to updraft and kill here, but my favorite knife spot is by using this angle. If you float out and use this angle, it will launch you out, making you hard to hit and net you a kill or two. Let's talk about attacking mid. First, I want to talk about where the spawn barriers spawn for each side and how the defenders already have eyes on the angles that we as attackers are going to be coming from. This changes up our approach slightly, as they can have ops and we're the ones going to be swinging into them. As a rule of thumb, you should only ever be swinging mid from this right hand side. It allows you to gain momentum to be able to pre-fire this male angle. You can jump spot to get information. You're not at risk of getting ops from vents where they already have a very, very tidy op setup, and it allows you to gain information by, say, using your updraft, peeking into vents, and then if you need to, you can curve a smoke in, which allows you to push up, put a lot of pressure on them, clear these sort of angles without getting offed. The other option as well is from the right side of mid, you can basically updraft right off the bat if you want to take an early fight. And if they're sage walling and you think that you can time it right or get a flashbang or something, you can glide onto this box. It's a little bit risky, but it allows you to get a pick on either a rotator. Say your team rotates off to B, you can float here and be the lurk, ready to stab them in the back. And just swinging from this right hand side offers you so many more options than this left hand side. From this left hand side, if you walk out, you're going to get op from here unless you hit a nice one tap. Their angle advantage is just so much stronger. So as a rule of thumb, just don't swing from here. When it comes to opping mid, this is the only exception I have when it comes to peeking from this left side. If you know that they have rifles, then you may as well get the op and go for one of these cheeky jump peeks just to try and catch them off guard. If you see nobody, just post up, get into this deep angle. And again, if you see nobody, try and work up, try and work up. If you can get into this steep angle here, you can pretty much cover all of your teammates while they scale up and try and challenge this meal side. Once you've scaled up, say you wall off vents or smoke off, you want to be posting here, covering your team as they push up. And then once they swing here, you want to be coming up here with your op, getting into an angle like this, and just again posting and just covering your teammates. When it comes to eco strategies, your goal is really to close this gap in the distance. So what I like to do is jump peek mid, gain some information off of them, throw this smoke, and now we can push up, and you want to be putting a lot of pressure onto this meal area. This is when you want to be prepping your dash, as when you get a kill here, you want to use the staff for pacing, as it'll throw off the rotates and allow you to get into these positions before any of the defenders can get into positions to react to it. The same applies when trying to go vents. You can jump peek this, throw a smoke in, and now you can push up, challenge this, you get this kill, you dash in, now you're away. Get into CT, get into screens, these awkward positions where you're hard to get out of. If you have your knives and you're attacking mid, a lot of the same things apply of being able to jump peek, get the information, say smoke off vents. Now you can push up, pop your dash, go for this kill, and as soon as you get this kill, you want to be exploding onto the B side, trying to catch the person who's playing B off guard. And it's the same sort of thing if you end up getting this vent skill in mid. Now you're away, you can updraft, and you want to be putting pressure as soon as possible onto the site and opening up the site for your team. Another updraft spot, if the bomb is planted here, is if you go outside of screens, the CT area, you can glide, double updraft, and then see anybody defusing the bomb from here. If you've taken a tower with your knives, one updraft you can do is jump off of heaven, double updraft, and cut off the rotations into spawn. I've caught a few people off guard this way, and it's a very strong updraft. My favorite updraft for this post plant is by getting on top of this box. It allows you to play into CT, you can swing the right hand side, but it also allows you to, using this angle, you can glide, bounce your head off of it, and it will send you flying wide, being able to get the kill. Similarly, if you get a sage wall in spawn, you jump on top of it, and if you know that they're offing mid, you can see into vents. Another updraft is by gliding onto this corner in A main, and if you updraft off of here, you can see very deep into the outside A main area, as well as if it's a post plant situation, you can hold here for the rotate, or to see into screens or heaven. If you get a sage wall on top of this box in the pre-round, well, what you can do is then double updraft from here, and it will allow you to see into the A ramp area, potentially getting a kill. It's useful if they're opping there a lot. If you're rotating A from B with knives, you can prep your dash, jump from the top of these stairs, and use all of your updrafts and dashes to see into the screens area and clear this close corner. It's very situational. If you know that the enemies are holding far back on a lobby, well, you can double updraft onto this box and get a pick off here. If you want to be going for an A lobby pick, well, you can jump off of heaven, double updraft, and go for one of these picks here. There are 2 ult spots from this corner on A. You can go onto this raised platform and see into heaven, or if you find yourself stuck in this corner, you can updraft and see into ramp to be able to get yourself out of here. An updraft off the barriers is by getting on top of this box, and when the barriers drop, you can see into heaven, and then you can see into screens and go for this pick on the side. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it and learned something today, and I cannot believe that this channel is already at 230 subs. Thank you so much for all the support that I've been receiving in the comments, and help me hit 300 subs by hitting that like and subscribe button. And I'm going to be holding a poll for what the next map in the Ultimate Jett Masterclass will be. So thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.